Hola! Today we're going to be taking some notes so that you know how to work better with sustantivos, nouns, pronombres, pronouns, and adjetivos, adjectives. First things first, we need to make sure that we know what are these three things. Most basically, un sustantivo, or a noun, is a person, place, thing, or it can also be an idea. In Spanish, we say this: una persona, una cosa, o un lugar. A pronoun, or un pronombre in Spanish, replaces a noun, takes the place of a noun in the sentence. So the way we'd say that in Spanish is reemplaza, replaces, un sustantivo. Sustantivo, once again, is noun. Un adjetivo, or adjective, es una palabra que describe un sustantivo o pronombre. In other words, it's a word that describes a noun or a pronoun. What you're going to do before we move forward is pause the video briefly and look at your vocab list. Write down some Spanish nouns from your vocabulary list, and then write down the last letters of the nouns that you wrote. So the last one or two letters of the nouns that you wrote. Make sure that you write down at least 5 Spanish nouns on the first line. When you're ready, then you're going to unpause the video and continue as we discuss gender. So Spanish nouns have género, otherwise known as gender. This means that they're either masculino or femenino, masculine or feminine. Note that a noun does not have to be referring to a boy specifically to be masculine or a girl to be feminine. El libro, the book, is a masculine noun, but la pluma, the pen, is considered a feminine noun. You'll also see that most sustantivos masculinos, or masculine nouns, end with the letter O, like libro, which we said previously. Most sustantivos femeninos, feminine nouns, end with the letter A, like pluma. One other thing you need to be aware of is that there are some exceptions to this rule. Take a look at your vocab sheet and write down some nouns, 2 or 3, that end with other vowels. In all likelihood, that other vowel would be the letter E, or end with a consonant. Once you've done that, we're going to go on to discuss number. Another thing you need to be aware of is that Spanish nouns, or sustantivos españoles, have number, which means that they're either singular, talking about one person, place, or thing, or plural, talking about 2 or more people, places, or things. In order to make a noun plural, if the Spanish noun ends with a vowel, in all likelihood A, E, or O, all you do is add the letter S. So you'd say, for example, libros and plumas. If a Spanish noun ends with a consonant, you're going to add the letters ES. So for example, you have on your vocab list, I believe the word escritor, which is writer. To make that plural, it would be escritores. Now you're going to pause the video briefly and complete the activity where you change the nouns below from singular to plural. Once you're done, restart the video. We're also going to be discussing about pronombres, or pronouns. The job of a pronoun in a sentence is to replace a noun. And so before we get further into this, what I'd like you to think about as you read the paragraph at the bottom of page 2 is, what's weird about it? What's kind of strange? I'm going to read it aloud to you, and then you're going to pause the video and write your answer. Think about what sounds odd to you or looks odd to you as you listen to and read this paragraph. Last weekend, Kara came to visit. Kara drove from New Jersey, but Kara got tired, so Kara stayed overnight at a hotel. Kara finished Kara's drive Saturday morning. Kara arrived, ate lunch, and went to a party. Kara was very tired because Kara had a long day. Pause the video briefly and think about what we could do to change this paragraph and why we might want to do that. Once you're done, restart. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about subject pronouns or pronombres de sujeto. We use these to talk about who or what is doing an action. What you need to do below very quickly is find the subject of each sentence. In other words, the person or the thing, who or what, is doing the action in the sentence. That is the subject of your sentence. We have subject pronouns in English too, and on the chart below you need to write down both the Spanish subject pronouns and the English subject pronouns as a reference. In order to say I, we say yo. In order to say you, informal, talking to friends or family, we say tú with an accent. He is él with an accent. She is ella. And usted, abbreviated UD, which is how you'll most frequently see it written, is you formal, as if you're talking to someone who's supposedly in a position of authority. Those are your singular subject pronouns. They all talk about one person. Now we move on to our plural subject pronouns in the right-hand column. Once again, write down the English and the Spanish. We is nosotros for a group of all boys or a group of mixed boys and girls. All you have to do is add one boy and it's nosotros. Nosotras is for a group of all girls. In Spain, people say vosotros or vosotras to say you all. In this class, I mainly teach it as a reference. You should not expect to see it on assessments. Ellos and ellas mean they. Ellos is they for all boys or a mixed group of boys and girls. Ustedes, abbreviated UDS, which is how you'll usually see it written, is you all, and it's the way that we will typically say you all in class. Finally, moving on to adjetivos or adjectives. Los adjetivos describen sustantivos o pronombres. They describe nouns or pronouns. They have gender and number just like the nouns, and they need to match the nouns or pronouns they describe. So if, for example, a noun or pronoun is masculine, so if the noun is masculine like el libro, or the pronoun is clearly referring to a boy, a group of boys, or a mixed group, the adjective describing it must also be masculine. Please write down and translate the examples below to the best of your ability. Write them down and translate them to the best of your ability. Sorry about that. No, that's not where we want to go. And now, if a noun or pronoun is femenino or feminine, such as la pluma or las plumas, the adjective describing it must also be feminine. This also has to do with if you're discussing a girl or talking to a girl about herself. Please write down the examples and then translate them, once again, to the best of your ability. Finally, what do I do if I want to talk about more than one thing? You follow the exact same rules that you use for los sustantivos, in that if an adjective ends with a vowel, most commonly A, E, or O, you add the letter S to make it plural. If an adjective ends with a consonant, you're going to add the letters ES to make it plural. Finally, read and translate the sentences below to the best of your ability. Write down the sentences and translate them into English. Once you're done, continue on to practice vocab with quiz.